Hello again, my name's Gabe Zollner. One of my viewers sent me a rather interesting article. It's on NBC News. You won't have to look for it, the link will be attached. Now, if you remember back in April the 8th of 2015, there was an incident that took place in South Carolina. And we had actual live video where Officer Michael Sledger was chasing Walter Scott. And Walter Scott was shot at 5 times as he was running away from Officer Michael Sledger. We also saw a little video that showed that the officer went back, picked up a taser that was on the ground, and placed it by the body of Walter Scott. Well, looks like the grand jury in South Carolina got it right. Scarlett Wilson, who's the district attorney, reported that the grand jury found a true bill, meaning that Officer Michael Sledger is charged with murder. The article also says that he's not eligible for the death penalty. I don't know what that means. I don't know what makes somebody eligible for the death penalty, but one would assume that he would have earned that right. You know, you talk about people like Michael Sledger being sent to prison for 25 years to life, and I'm going to roll another little event that's taking place right now into this video. As many of you know, 2 murderers escaped out of a New York prison, and they were obviously given help to have done that, since they were given power tools to cut through concrete and through iron bars. Now, what's been reported is one of these murderers murdered 1 person and the other murdered 2 people. And what I found really astonishing was the one that murdered 2 people was given 25 to life, which means he could be paroled after 25 years. Here's someone that took the lives of 2 people, and he can be paroled, or he could have been paroled, based on good behavior. Obviously, that's not going to happen in his case, if and when they're captured. But here's something that the jury or the judge that sentenced him should think about. If either one of these 2 murderers murder innocent people during their escape, who do you think should be held responsible for that? Well, I think when you take a life, and there's no doubt if they've taken lives. In other words, I'm not talking about circumstantial evidence. I'm talking about actual DNA evidence. I'm talking about eyewitness evidence, multiple eyewitness evidence. If someone's convicted of murder based on having that kind of information, they need to be put down. This is what happens to people that are allowed to remain in prison that have murdered other people. How many times have convicted murderers murdered prisoners in prison? How long do you think they should be allowed to live once they've been sentenced to death? Look at Scott Peterson. He's been on death row for how many years now? You know who's making money while he's on death row? The attorneys. Appeal after appeal after appeal. The whole system's totally insane. Anyway, the good news is that the grand jury got it right about Walter Scott's murder. And Officer Michael Sledger, well, he's going to have a tough time in prison. Prisoners don't like the company of police officers, even if they have, such in the case of Michael Sledger, committed murder. I told you what I think. Read the article. Let me know what you think.